Hi everyone, it's Karina McQuiston, your Close to My Heart independent consultant. And as promised, I wanted to shoot this quick video for you to explain my new workshop that I'm bringing to you this month called Planning Pages. And I'm very, very excited about this workshop. I have been working on this and planning this since before Christmas. So I've been trying to perfect it and how I want to do it. And I'm hoping that you all will enjoy this and hopefully we can get some pages done. So what is it? It is a new workshop based on scrapbooking. So the reason that I wanted to do this is two reasons. One, selfish reason. I have, and this is not an exaggeration, 7 albums that I have started but have yet to complete. Either because I have a lot of layouts waiting for pictures that I've done for workshops or as examples, or I've started, let's say, a certain event like a Christmas or a birthday party, and maybe I haven't quite finished it yet. My son's baby book, I have 1 2-page layout done for his whole book. So things like that. It's a selfish reason. I want to challenge myself to get an album done this year. Maybe even 2 albums, if I'm ambitious. Second reason is I wanted to give you guys, my customers, a chance to scrapbook in a different way that quote unquote breaks the rules, right? We've all been there. We have to catch up in our albums. We have to scrapbook chronologically. We have to scrap all the photos. We have to make everything look perfect. Everything has to look presentable. Everything has to be an art piece. As beautiful and as wonderful as the supplies are that are out there, it doesn't have to be this grueling 4-hour per layout task to finish an album. And so I want to give you guys the permission to break rules and get stuff done and work on the things that you want to work on. So what is it that you want to do? Why do you want to scrapbook right now? If I were to just ask you, split second, what's the first thing that came to your mind? For me, it would be my son. I want to scrapbook his photos. Whether it was him playing in the snow, whether it was a goofy face he made for the first time, I want to scrapbook that. And I want to jot down the story and what was it about and what was he doing. Because to me, those are the memories. I don't need to scrapbook, for me, every meal or every detail of every day. That's not important for me. I like the big picture. I like the big events. That's my style, okay? I want to help you find your style. Find what works for you. Find what it is that you want to scrapbook, why you want to tell your story. Because essentially, that's why we do it, right? To tell our story. To relive those moments and those memories. That's the reason that we go there. So what is it that's drawing you to scrapbook right now? Is it a picture that you took recently? Maybe it's a new paper collection you bought that's really inspiring you to get creative. What is it right now? So, number 1, why do you want to do it? Number 2, what is it that's drawing you to do it? I know those seem like they'd be the same type of question, but they're a little bit different, and I want you to take a little bit of time to think about that. The other thing I wanted to talk about is exactly what it is or how it is that it's going to be different than just a typical scrapbooking workshop. So as you can see, I'm kind of doing this on the fly, so I'm trying to kind of hit all of the points. But if I miss something, please comment, question, email, whatever you need to do so I can answer your questions about this as I go along. So again, what is it that's different than just a regular scrapbooking workshop? What's going to be different with this one is I want to teach you how to integrate fast scrapbooking with traditional scrapbooking so that you have completed albums in a quicker amount of time, if that makes sense. I feel like as memory keepers and scrapbookers, we feel inclined to tell all the stories and to scrap every photo. Right? And sometimes it's really hard to pick which photos you should scrap versus which ones you shouldn't scrap. So then, because it's daunting, because we feel pressured, sometimes we just don't do it, right? So then we have 30 years of photos sitting in a box. Well, we don't want that either. So this is going to be different because I want to show you how to create a hybrid album. And that's what I'm calling them, hybrid albums. I want to show you how to take pocket pages, flip flaps, pocket page plus protectors, all things that Close to My Heart sells. And I want to show you how to integrate those into your album to complete albums quickly or quicker than what you've been doing. But that doesn't mean you have to go away from doing traditional scrapbooking either. You can do both, and that's why it's a hybrid album. I also want to kind of just give you that freedom, if you will, give you that permission to break the rules, scrapbook what you want to now. Don't worry about where you left off, whether it was last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Scrapbook what you want to right now. Whether it's your wedding you've always wanted to do, but oh, you're not there yet. You can't scrap it yet because you still haven't done Jimmy's album or whatever. You know what? Do what is motivating you to get creative now. Because when you do that, sorry, I feel like I've got a hair. When you do that, you'll find that you enjoy it more and you'll get more done because you're actually doing something that you're passionate about rather than feeling like it's a daunting task that has to get done. So with that said, this first workshop is February 10th. It's at my house here in Hastings, Minnesota, and it's from 6:30 to 8:30 is the workshop portion, okay? And during that workshop portion, it's only $10 as the fee, and that $10 gets you quite a bit. So let me just show you. That $10 is going to get you 2 top-loading page protectors to do a traditional, or a couple different traditional layouts. It's going to get you 2 pocket page protectors of your choice. These just happen to be the couple that I grabbed. And it's also going to get you 1 pocket plus page, which I don't have a blank one, but it looks like this. These are 4x6 photos in a 4x12 pocket plus page protector. It's also going to get you 5 Picture My Life cards of your choice. So there's 3x4 cards and there's 4x6 cards. Okay, and so you get to choose 5 of those to put into your pocket pages. It's also going to give you a sketch that you can use to kind of kickstart your creativity that night. You don't have to use it. I just find that sometimes having a sketch kind of gets my creative juices flowing. And it's also going to get you this little booklet. I have been following along within the last few months with a company called Simple Scrapper. And she basically came out with this booklet and a guide, if you will, just within the last couple months that fit perfectly with me planning this workshop. So I wanted to integrate it because I think it's perfect. Somebody else already did the work, and we're just going to utilize it to our advantage during this workshop. So you'll get this little booklet and you'll get this guide. Can you see that? Hybrid albums, right? Like I told you. And she basically breaks it down to kind of help you figure out what it is or how it is that you like to scrap and what's important to you. So the guide kind of helps you take a look at the overall picture. And then this little planner booklet is going to help you for the whole year. So it's just a small little booklet. The first page is something where you write down why scrapbooking is important to you now, and then a victory log. And I'll explain all this during the workshop, but I just kind of wanted to point it out. There's a page for recurring tasks that maybe you have, whether it's scrapbooking related or not, just to kind of help you get a feel for what you have. And then there's these pages that are sectioned off by season. So this is winter, which is why my first workshop's called Planning Pages Winter. And these are actually my projects that were on my priority list. And you're supposed to list the projects that are on your most prioritized, and then you're going to break those projects down into manageable steps that you can do in small increments and large increments, whatever, to check them off to work towards progress and being done. So then each season will have its own page. And there's a couple blank pages to kind of help you take notes or maybe jot down some ideas or thoughts. And so I really liked this idea, and we're going to incorporate it and see if that helps some of you as well. It won't be for everybody to use it, but some people like to have something on paper, kind of have that visual to help guide them. So that's what you get when you come for $10. And then after the workshop, from 8:30 to 11:30 is going to be a mini crop. And this is where you can take what we've talked about during the workshop and you can start implementing it to get some pages done. So I encourage you to bring photos that you want to scrap now, not ones that you need to catch up on, not ones that you left off with, but the ones that you want to scrap now. Bring those. Make sure there's a group of them because you're going to go through these pages fast. Like I said, this is a quicker way of doing it and getting things done. So maybe bring Christmas 2016, maybe bring Sledding Party January 2017, something recent, something new and fresh in your mind that you want to tell that story. And then you're also going to bring basic supplies, so cardstock, embellishments, whatever it is you like to use to do your pages. I will have some supplies on hand that you can purchase at any time. I'll have some tools that you can use. I'll have technique-y type things that you can try if you'd like. But for the most part, this is for you. This is to use your supplies, your photos, and to get your stuff done. And then I'm going to show you how to implement Close to My Heart products to do that in a fast and effective manner. So let me show you a couple examples of what I mean by a hybrid album. A lot of you are familiar with pocket scrapbooking anyway. Becky Higgins has Project Life. We have Picture My Life, and we've had it now for a few years, but it's still one of those things that people are a little bit hesitant to try. It does take a little bit of planning, but when I say a little bit of planning, I'm talking more so about just trying to figure out how many pockets you want to do versus how many traditional pages you want to do, that sort of thing. It'll still come together fairly quickly. So the other day, my son took a 3.5-hour nap. I know, it was amazing. And during that time, I wanted to get some example things done for this workshop. So I had literally one kit that I wanted to use, but that's it. I had no idea what pictures I was using. I had no idea what supplies I was using. I had nothing prepped, nothing ready. So in 3.5 hours, after finding photos, scrapping some supplies together, because I used a whole hodgepodge of different things, and planning some of my pages, so that takes time too. In 3.5 hours, I was able to plan and get things done on 12 pages. Yeah. Now these aren't complete, because like I said, I was finding photos and trying to pull product, so some of that took a majority of my time. But I was able to get quite a bit done. I also have to reorder photos for this particular project because the photos that I had ordered got a little bit messed up with printing. So then that took some time too because I had to mark down what photos I was using, what sizes I wanted to reorder, and that sort of stuff. So it doesn't have to take that amount of time. I could have easily gotten all 12 pages done in 3.5 hours if I had planned ahead, but I hadn't done that. So I already broke some of my own workshop guidelines. But in order to kind of show you what this will look like, I wanted to take some time and point a few things out. So let me move the camera down just a little bit. Okay, don't mind the messy table. Like I said, I have been working on projects and trying to get some things done, so I have quite the crafter math going on right now in my workspace. So this is just an example of maybe starting to set up a pocket page. So I've got some of the Picture My Life cards already put in there, and these are double-sided, but I haven't quite planned what pictures I'm going to use yet on this one. This kit that I used is a new kit from Close to My Heart that is geared towards beginner scrapbookers or somebody that needs to scrapbook something quickly. So it's the new Cut Above Forever and Always layout kit. And you get everything all pre-cut, ready to go to make this layout. And then you get the Picture My Life cards to do the pocket pages. So it's a great kit, and it's in the new Seasonal Expressions book. So here's a pocket page that I actually kind of got planned out. Now I haven't embellished this and I haven't written my story on here yet, but for the most part this is done. So you can see I've got some cards in here, my pictures are all laid out, and then I was able to plan the back as well. This one I haven't quite decided what layout I want to do here, but some sort of one-page traditional type layout is what I will eventually do. And then I took that cut above kit and I made my 2-page layout. Sorry, I'm trying not to get a glare there. So here's page 1, and I have to reprint my photos, so I ended up putting this mat behind here, which is a 5x7 mat, so I knew about how big my picture will be, so then I could do my embellishments. And then I have more of a title that will go underneath that as well. But everything's been ink distressed. I added a little bit of gold shimmer brush around the edges of my flowers, and I popped up my flowers with some thin and regular foam tape. And then page 2 looked a little bit like that. Isn't that fun? Now on the back side of this, again, I was mostly just planning, so I haven't quite tacked everything down and gotten everything done. But I have another 5x7 photo that will be going into here. And I had some leftover embellishments that I didn't use that are these flowers. Those will kind of go up in the corner. And then I have another Picture My Life card here that I'll be using. And this page is where I'm going to use this Pocket Plus. So when this is folded over, it won't cover up my 5x7 photo, but it adds more photos to this layout. And then page 2, a couple more photos and another Picture My Life card. And then that same Pocket Plus page will just lay over top of that first photo. On the back side here, I'm using 5x7 photos and a flip flap, but again, I haven't quite planned the paper on this one yet. And then I was able to get a bunch of pockets done. So I'm waiting to reprint a couple pictures that were really messed up, but I got some pictures cut down for 3x4 and added some cards. And I have more pictures coming. And then I added from a completely different collection. This is actually from Teresa Collins. I added some other cards that fit what's going on in here. So this one says bridesmaids and groomsmen, and this one is a quote about love. Okay, and then here's the back side of that. And again, I have another Picture My Life card that will go there. And I pulled Picture My Life cards from actually 3 different collections. So I have the Cut Above collection, which came in the kit. I have a kind of a watercolor base collection, which was in one of our old ones. I think it was Through the Years, maybe. And then I pulled another one from, I think it was called Beautiful You. So I actually have multiple collections and multiple paper packs throughout this project. And then I have another traditional layout going in on the end of this. So I'm not completely done scrapping this particular event, but I was, like I said, was able to plan 12 pages and be able to work on those quite exclusively without having to have a whole lot of interruptions, without having to have a lot of stop and starts or a lot of creative timeouts where I just was feeling flustered with how things were going, because really it was just sliding my pictures into the pockets and then just designing a couple of traditional layouts. So it was super fast and super easy. And this wedding is my sister's wedding from 2011. So it wasn't something that was tugging on my heartstrings to do right now, but I really liked those pictures with this particular paper, which is why I hadn't scrapped it yet, because I was having a hard time finding something that I liked as far as background and papers to go with her wedding. So it just worked out for me in this instant. So there you go, guys. That's the workshop. Like I said, if you have any questions, if you have anything that you need at all, clarification at all, go ahead and email me, find me on Facebook, write in the comments if you need to, and I will try and clarify this as much as possible or kind of help you get started. But otherwise, workshop seating is open. I'm taking reservations now, and I'm really hoping that you guys will all join me because this is going to be a ton of fun. Oh, and don't forget, there are prizes. Yes, so when you are at the workshop, I will be drawing for prizes throughout the night during the mini crop. And for every Planning Pages workshop you attend this year, you get tickets into a grand prize drawing at the end of the year. Especially if you quote unquote finish an album. Just saying. So I've got some great prizes out there for you guys. And just some great incentives and tips and things to share with you on how to get those albums done. So I'm hoping you like this. I hope it helped make sense of what I've got going on. And yeah, enjoy your weekend. Hope to see you soon.